one of the things that absolutely baffles me about the Nintendo Switch is the fact that it hasn't gotten its own Mario Kart game. And if you weren't familiar with the Wii U, you didn't own one, you're probably like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is its Mario Kart game. Well, that's just simply not true. Mario Kart 8, of course, came out on the Wii U. And based on how easy it is to mod a Wii U, likely everybody that owns a Wii U and wanted to play Mario Kart 8 probably also has all the DLC, so they basically have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which of course is the game they're selling at full price still on the Nintendo Switch. It's really disappointing to see that there has not been a newer Mario Kart game made besides the recent release of one that involves toy peripherals, which is something I simply don't have room to actually play, which is a rare case when it comes to video games. So I'm like, I can't buy that because I physically don't have room for it. So unfortunately, I ended up playing Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 instead, which is the second time Nickelodeon has released a kart racing game on this console generation. And it's being put out by Game Mill, who is turning out games at a rapid rate this time of the year to be prepared for the cash grab that is the holiday season. I know they had a crappy G.I. Joe game come out. I think they're making a Cobra Kai game based on the Netflix license. So Game Mill is really a game mill in the most literal sense, that they just kind of turn out games as fast as they can. But here they are putting out a kart racer that, while not perfect, I would consider it to be better than most licensed kart racers that you would see turned out, or just kart racers in general on the Nintendo Switch. Keep in mind that the Switch is a platform where there are mobile games being ported to it, so this trumps mobile games in my opinion. But taking a look at the breakdown of the characters, there are so many characters featured in this game. If you just simply take a look at the Wikipedia page, you can see just a long list of characters that are featured in this game. Now, it's very deceiving because not all of them are playable. Not all of them even have 3D character models that appear. But you get a pretty good list of characters that you can actually race as. I mean, these are characters from back in my day watching Nickelodeon, at my grandparents' house, as well as, more recent shows that I'm not familiar with. The younger generation will be. And for some reason, JoJo from Dance Moms makes it in here, and I can't really connect the dots on why. But there's basically a system of a pit crew where you actually choose individual cards of characters. And these are more minor characters in the scheme of things, but things like Shredder from TMNT is in there too, so not really technically that minor of a character, but they're in there as power-ups kind of that you choose as a part of a loadout when you're picking your car and getting started. So not only are you customizing, each individual aspect of your car the way you would with Mario Kart, like the exhaust and the tires and the body and the engine, things like that, but you're also customizing like the loadout that you're getting from this quote-unquote pit crew that you never really see. So none of these characters are 3D modeled, and really they're just a tile with their face on. But it's cool to have that level of customization. So I just took a look at the official count, and yes, there is over 100 Nickelodeon characters to choose from, which of course is just mind-blowing to think, but turns out actually only about 30 of them are playable, so the other 70 are going to be in that form of a tile sense, where there are sort of power-up via the pit crew that's available. Now, the game does have a fair amount of tracks. There's 28, so I think that covers you well with the large number of cups there are. And of course, the cups are just a 4-race deal. You're earning points and you're advancing, so that hopefully at the end you'll have the most points and win the entire cup. Now, there's also a challenge mode, and of course there's been challenge modes in other racing games before, but I really like the uniqueness of each challenge and kind of how it flows here, because it reminds me of the Madden Ultimate Team solo challenges that EA puts in their games. So like right now I'm advancing through, I got 6 of them done, and the 7th one here is a boss battle against Danny Phantom to ultimately, I would assume, unlock Danny Phantom at the end of this boss battle so I can have him as a playable character. And of course, throughout each of these challenges, I was also unlocking different pit crew characters to give me different abilities to use in the other game modes. And of course, it also has that 4-player split screen like you would expect, as well as a battle mode, which of course I'm not a huge fan of. The overall jankiness of this game is there a little bit. It's definitely not as polished as a Nintendo Mario Kart game, but it's not as bad as Nickelodeon Kart Racers' last outing earlier this generation. That game was just a janky mess, and one of the biggest criticisms people actually had against that game was A, the lack of content, the lack of characters, and the lack of tracks, where this game is substantially bigger, but also the lack of heart that it had, and the fact that it was missing the original voice actors, or just really even a replacement voice actor. And this game continues that trend of having no voice clips recorded or licensed for each character, which for someone like me who usually plays games with the sound off, I don't get too worked up about sound. So when you consider that this game is $40 and that it has just this wealth of content between the 30 or so playable characters and the 28 or so tracks, I can't help but feel like this game is actually really worth it for the $40 price tag, regardless of a bit of jankiness that it can have on some tracks in particular, where it just seemed to me like there were too many colors kind of coming at my face, as well as some frame rate drops here or there that I would see at least on the Switch version. Maybe that's a little bit better on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. But if you have kids that enjoy Mario Kart and they've had a good time with that and they've kind of set aside because really they've probably played all the content that it has to offer, I think that even if they aren't a fan of every Nickelodeon franchise in here, and I don't think anybody will be, and I know I'm not, I think that there's still plenty to offer as far as different franchises that they do probably enjoy. And it's just, again, so much content, and I like having to unlock it. And it's not just all given to me. It gives me something to work towards and to come back and keep playing for. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Bailey, and I will see you in the next video.